It's the NFL on EA Sports. And coming up, it'll be no holds barred between AFC South rivals. It's the Indianapolis Colts and the Houston Texans. And it's all up next.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Today it's an intra-division matchup in the AFC South, as it'll be the Indianapolis Colts taking on the Houston Texans. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Well, Charles, September is here. The 2023 season just about to get started. So many storylines to pay attention to. What are you most keeping an eye on as the start of the season moves closer?
Well, partner, I'm glad you asked, because we're going to start, obviously, Aaron Rodgers and the Jets. That's a huge story. How about Kansas City? Could they win their third title in 5 years? We know some teams are trying to get there. Buffalo, Cincinnati, Philadelphia, San Francisco, all should contend. And how about some of those sleeper teams? I think the Chargers of Pittsburgh in the AFC, Carolina, Detroit in the NFC, it's going to be an exciting season.
And we are underway from NRG Stadium in Houston. Here's Tank Dell to return it from his end zone. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20. So here are the Texans now with a fresh face at quarterback, the second overall pick from Ohio State, C.J. Stroud.
In over 2 seasons, Stroud showed all he needed to at Ohio State. All-American, Heisman finalist, program records galore. He looked every bit like the #1 overall pick. He went number 2, but Houston is thrilled to have him.
A man coming off a great rookie year, it's Dameon Pierce. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here. Stroud looking to throw. Open man is Noah Brown. That one a first down pickup of 8. So, Charles, it'll take nothing away from this young man under center, because I know people think he's got a very bright future in this league, but I have to figure the defensive coordinators love the thought of squaring off against a rookie quarterback. And especially if they have guys they can put together a game plan with that's going to confuse, disguise a lot of coverage, make this kid think a little bit. Because in college, he's seen a lot of things. Let's not get it wrong here. But at the same time, in the NFL, you can do so much more because of the athletes you have, because of their football IQ. And don't forget, you're going to throw a couple extra rushers at him as well. See if he can handle the pressure when those guys come at him. First and 10, it's Pierce. That's a pretty strong running there as he'll take this across the 50 and down to the 44. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
That's a very nice game there. Confidence-building run. Love the execution up front, and the way you press the hole, absolutely perfect.
Now from Colts territory, here's a first and 10 at the 44-yard line. Stroud's throw complete here to his receiver, Brown. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. That'll go for a gain of 7, and that'll make it second down. They run with the former Buffalo Bill, Devin Singletary.
They got 2 of the 3 they needed there. It leaves them with 3rd and just a yard.
Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
This will be play number 7 on the drive. 3rd and a yard. The tight end in motion right.
Pierce will try to pick it up.
And he's able to pick up the first before he's taken down at the 27. That one goes for 8 yards. If you make the stop there, maybe you hold him to 3 on this opening drive. They didn't get the stop.
Yeah, new set of downs now. Now you're worried about, just as you pointed out, not just giving up 3, possibly giving up 6. Let's see what they decide to do here, because they've got to change up what they have been doing. It hasn't been working.
And only a yard this time as he's taken down right around the 26.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
2nd and 9. The 2nd down throw now from Stroud.
And he's got his big tight end over the middle, complete. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3.
A lot of precision being shown on this opening drive. They've been methodical, they've been crisp, and as a reward, they're going to be set up with an early 1st and goal.
A terrific opening drive has them knocking on the door. 1st and goal. Here's Pierce. Going to be stopped before he can get moving forward as he'll lose a couple back to the 5-yard line.
It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
That's a really alert defense there, because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Once more, it's Pierce.
And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose.
Could have been a costly mistake, but as it turns out, they keep possession.
You can't give away these types of opportunities in the red zone. And I'm sure that was flashing through his brain as the ball escaped his hands. Fortunately for him, able to get picked up by his team, fumble recovered. They still have an opportunity deep in the red zone.
3rd and goal, Stroud.
And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Well, so a drive that spans all that time, and yet you may only come away with 3 points here.
Well, your defense, all right, they actually like these long drives. They get to rest over on the sidelines for a while. But when you're not finishing with points in terms of touchdowns, that's frustrating. They've got to figure out how to close out these long drives and get 6s instead of 3s.
All in all, a pretty decent opening drive, Charles. Pretty balanced. They had the passing game going and the rushing attack, too.
I would think they have to be happy with that start, because you get your ground game going, which means your offensive line and your runners are pretty happy, and then you get your aerial attack going as well, so your quarterback and receivers have smiles on their faces. Now both up to speed, awaiting their next possessions for this game. They can't wait to get started again.
Fairbairn now following the made field goal. He'll send this one away.
McKenzie will not return this, and it'll be brought out to the 25. So here come the Colts to take over for the first time, and leading the way is the number 4 pick in the draft out of Florida. Here's Anthony Richardson.
The moment Anthony Richardson's name was announced as the 4th pick in the 2023 draft, it changed the landscape and probably our viewing habits with the NFL. He is must-see viewing. Tremendous athlete, not a lot of experience, but the ceiling as high as it possibly can be.
On 1st down, Richardson.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Malik Collins able to drop him for a loss of a couple.
If they have any thoughts of coming in here and getting this road victory, that's not the way to start it out on the first play of the game.
Yeah, one thing you always say when you go on the road, take the crowd out of the game. They actually brought the crowd into it by permitting that sack right out of the gate.
They run with the All-Pro from a couple of years ago, Jonathan Taylor. And he'll manage only a couple here up to the 25.
In today's NFL, you hear all the time about stretching the field and creating space in order to run plays. A toss play will help accomplish that because now you're pushing a defense to chase you all the way to the edges and to the sideline. That's a nice run. Probing now early to try and get things done later.
On third down, here's Richardson.
Oh, he's hit. He lost the football. Put it on the carpet.
Oh, and one of the linemen on the other side has got it.
And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line.
And we know he's got the speed to get downfield, Charles, but there's the negative side. A little loose with the football that time.
And that's normal, especially when you have his type of talents, because you feel like you're into the open field and maybe you don't feel the people who are around you or closing in. All quarterbacks have to do extra ball security drills with the way the game's played now because defenses, they attack the football as much as they attack the runner.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Pierce gets this one running right. And he'll get it inside the 35.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Here's a 2nd and 8. Throwing now is Stroud.
And that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
Stroud on 3rd down now.
That is caught. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. That's a 3rd down conversion of 24 yards there. Nice play.
That's a big gainer on that play. And from experience, I can tell you, that's for defensive backs who come into the huddle and say, guys, how about some pass rush? But you're going to say it nicely because those big guys up front, they don't like being criticized very much. Quarterbacks in this league, you know they'll pick you apart if you give them time like that to find receivers downfield.
Stroud to the air on 1st and 10.
And he's going to go down. He's sacked back at the 24.
Grover Stewart getting in there for the sack.
And on 1st and goal, they decided to throw for it, but the coverage was excellent. And he kept holding the ball, hoping someone would shake free. Instead, he's hit and drop. And now, they're not even in the red zone anymore.
So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24. A give, Singletary right side.
Holding offense.
So that run play nullified by the holding call on the tight end.
Yeah, I just think he needs to get off the ball a lot quicker and get into the block a little bit more effectively. Then he doesn't have to reach and grab and try and hold on.
Stroud now on 2nd down. He's got his man. It's the tight end, Brevin Jordan.
So the completion results there in 9 yards. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long.
That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw.
Oh, he had a man running free, but he overshot him, and it's incomplete.
Looked like they were set up defensively in a zone coverage, but somehow they found a seam because that receiver all alone. By rights, that should have been a touchdown, but somehow this ball's overthrown.
Fairbairn on for the field goal. A 42-yard attempt.
Fairbairn able to put this one through, and that will make it 6-0. So the defense are able to force their first turnover of the game, and then they add on to that by getting the field goal.
And you don't just want to take the ball away from your opponent, partner. You want to make them hurt as well. And if you don't score yourself on defense, turn it over to your offense and have them put points on the board.
So a couple of field goals now. 6-0 our score as the kicks away. McKenzie now from his end zone. Oh, a good return up past the 30. Isaiah McKenzie. And he will score. Touchdown, Colts.
That was a special return, and it happened because he's a special returner. He has to have that approval from his special teams coach, his head coach, to bring it out of the end zone.
But let's be honest, a lot of times where they bring it out of the end zone like he did there, they don't have approval. I mean, I think a lot of times they do, but correct me if I'm wrong. Sometimes it's just a guy getting a feel, right?
You're exactly right. What's the old adage? Sometimes you just have to know when to break the rules. And if you do, you're taking on some responsibility. But he was happy to do so there.
Extra point by Gay is up and good.
And they take the lead here at 7-6. So now the other return teams out there as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw.
From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
The Texans offense now, they get set to head back onto the field. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
On first down, here's Stroud. As this complete to Woods. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19.
Well, this is where reading defenses and practice time comes into play. Got to know what you're running versus zone versus man and how to run the proper route. And they just executed that one pretty well.
Play action. Here's Stroud. Finds his man. It's John Mechie. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 40. After one, a one-point game, 7-6. Ready for the second quarter from Houston. It's the Texans in possession of the football.
So the ball moves from their own 41 to the other 41 here for 1st and 10.
Mechie, the man in motion. He's going to get it on the jet sweep. And this is not going to work as planned. He's going to be met and dropped behind the line of scrimmage.
This drive starts with 2 steps forward and now 1 back. A pair of first downs, and here a loss of yardage. So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11.
On 2nd down, it's Stroud. And he'll get this underneath to Singletary.
So the completion good for just 3. 3rd and 7 now.
So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. Back to throw. Here's Stroud. That ball nearly intercepted, but he could not hang on. Oh, pick there certainly would have been nice. Instead, at least it'll be 4th down.
So many times when we talk about coverage, we're just about a defender running with a receiver, but a big part of it is understanding where the football is, finding it. In this case, when it arrived, it wasn't a surprise, and he was able to bat it away.
And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt. And they jump back in front here. It's 9-7. So he's been a busy man here in this first half. That's 3 field goals for him now.
And not just 3 field goals, but 3 for 3. So even though the offense has struggled a bit putting it in the end zone, they've still been able to come away with points due to his leg.
Fairbairn now following the made field goal. He'll send this one away. McKenzie now from his end zone. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Second drive coming up here for the Indianapolis Colts. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal and they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive? A little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown, but they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach will be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield, punching the end zone without turning it over.
Brought down that time by Christian Kirksey.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
Quick throw into the hands of Pittman. And Pittman going to have a Colts first down as he'll be brought down at the 38-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people who have to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
Now Richardson. That one thrown across his body, and it's incomplete. Not sure what happened out there, but it looked like the timing was a little off on that throw.
Well, you know I'm a defender, so what am I going to say?
Great defense.
Darn right. They did something to disrupt that timing.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10, back to the air with Richardson. They'll set up the screen to Taylor. They showed off a nice juke of the defender before the next wave could bring him down. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
That's a nice design there, but sometimes, though, you get so many blockers out ahead of you, they kind of slow you down and force you to adjust. You always appreciate guys trying to help you, but maybe one less there could have turned this into a bigger game.
They'll try and run for the first with Taylor. A beautiful fake. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Well, they were in search of a short gain on 3rd down, and they wind up nabbing over 20 yards. Only needed 1 yard. He said, I'll get you more than that.
Yeah, yard, piece of cake, right? And if you're a defender, seeing the back of the jersey and being able to read his name, not a good thing. That means you're in chase mode. That didn't go well for them on that snap.
So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory as they're down to the 29-yard line. Richardson, he'll find Taylor. That's complete. Heck of a broken tackle and able to work this down near the 23.
The defense was ready for the back to leak out and even had a second player waiting to double him up. If you're going to commit to doubling a back, you better prevent a completion, but give him credit. Extra determination, extra effort, turn it into a successful play.
Richardson looking to throw this. He's got the tight end, Mo Alley-Cox. First time these two have hooked up this afternoon, and it's a first down.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath.
If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play, and that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
And here he'll get it down to the 7. He'll get 10 there all on his own, but it'll be second down.
Well, it looked like a quick hitter, a three-step drop, but when it's not there, what do? He elects to try and escape through the mass of bodies up the middle, and he does so and picks up positive yardage.
So not quite a first and goal just yet as they come up now second and inches. They'll run with the former Bill, Zach Moss. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. It's a 3-yard pickup, and that sets up a first and goal.
It's nice every now and then in this game not to see people overthink it. Just hand it to the old reliable guy. Let him pick up the first down.
Taylor will score. Touchdown, Indianapolis.
Did my eyes deceive me, or was that an I formation play that was just run there for a touchdown?
A little old school eye.
How about that? Was that a fullback, tailback, running it into the end zone?
Well, that's what that fullback's for, right? That's why you use that. Let him pave the way.
Oh, without a doubt. He's an extra blocker, and he did his job well on that play.
Extra point by Gay is up and good. And the lead is up to 5.
Texans 9.
Sanchez now, he'll kick it away following the touchdown. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. Houston set to take over. Last time out, you remember their drive stalled, but thanks to their kicker, booted a long field goal to at least get them 3. Now here they'll try to do better and find the end zone.
And in our experience, how much fun is it for coaches to know that they've got a kicker who can nail it from long distance? Now, the hard part is, as an offensive play caller, you don't want that in your head too much where you're relying on it, and he goes out and gets the job done for them. But I'm quite...
Oh, what a read on the outside as it's intercepted. And he will bring it back. An interception return for a Colts TD. An excellent play there, CD, on the pick 6. And I think were they a nickel? Did they have an extra DB out there?
Yeah, Brandon, I think they were in standard nickel, not the Buffalo, as teams like to call it, meaning 3 safeties for big nickel. They just wanted to take away the quarterback's throwing lanes, and that's exactly what they did, and came through with a big-time pick 6.
Gay is on for the point after. And this one gives his guys a 12-point lead. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. And now out comes Houston. Now remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick 6, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go-around.
Yeah, and sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick 6 and you come right back out on the field. You're not over on the sidelines dwelling for it for very long. You're not hearing everyone say, oh, hey, you'll get them next time. Hey, don't worry about it. All that stuff just goes right out the window. You're right back out on the field with a chance to atone.
They'll start on the ground with Pierce. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. DeForest Buckner using that size to force his way in there and make the stop behind the line.
Yeah, another negative play in an early down situation. This one to start the drive. You're putting a lot of pressure on your quarterback to bail you out when you're in second and long yardage.
And Pierce gets it again on second down. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss there. Now 3rd and 14. He came out ready to play. That's 3 tackles for a loss, Charles. We're only in the second quarter.
And that's problematic for the guys trying to run offense because that means he's got a pretty good idea of what they're doing and is actually beating them to the point of attack and making those plays. You might have to think about some misdirection or something to try and get him away from the ball.
And the window closes quickly. He'll only get up to the 22-yard line. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down.
Well, they got off the field on 3rd down. An excellent job, an excellent defensive series. We always talk about adjustments and usually only at halftime. But the best teams adjust series to series. And on that series, they adjusted so well that they got the job done in fine style.
On 4th down, out is the punter, Cameron Johnston, to boot it away. Back deep for the Colts, Isaiah McKenzie. 51 yards on the punt there. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. Here comes Jonathan Taylor and his teammates. He's been good. His guys are winning. So far, the recipe working here in the second quarter.
He doesn't like to just tote the rock. He wants to carry his team on his back, and that's what he's done throughout this game.
Yeah, he's done that. He'll be hoping to continue that trend. First and 10, it's Richardson. And that one's going to come up a little short. It's incomplete.
Had no command that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Now Richardson. That escapes the sack, but he can't get away forever, and down he goes. Jonathan Greenard running in to pick up the sack.
Like the footwork back there, I thought he did a pretty good job of evading that first wave of players. Trying to buy a little extra time out of the pocket, but in the end, oh, that was a tough one.
Yeah, winds up getting buried for the loss. 3rd and long for Richardson. Under pressure, and they got to him again. That was Will Anderson getting home and finishing the play.
What a play by Anderson, and that's really the expectation for him. Number 3 overall pick, one of the best pass rushers in Alabama history. He's the type of player Houston expects to be an all-timer for their defense.
Out is Rigoberto Sanchez on 4th down to punt this thing. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. On 4th down, the Colts will call on Rigoberto Sanchez for the punt. Back deep is Tank Dell. And a fair catch called for and made just inside the 35-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Texans will take over. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 at their 35-yard line. Now Stroud. Oh, that is incomplete.
With a rookie quarterback out there, you definitely got to find out how he handles adversity because this one so far hasn't gone according to plan. He's got to fight through it and show him what he's made of.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. Stroud looking to throw. That'll be caught left side by Woods. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. They get 14 on that one. Good for a Houston first down.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. That one goes for 30 yards.
So often when we're watching a football game, we see one with a lot of ebbs and flows, and this one is no different. And sometimes you just need a big play to wake you up a bit. And they get one right there. That shot of caffeine this offense was looking for.
So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Stroud to throw it. And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds, incomplete.
It sort of looks like they still have some fight in them on this series because it seemed like things were headed for the red zone. But if this defense gets 2 more stops, they can keep them out of that area.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. They'll run a draw now with Singletary. And a couple of yards as they move it from the 21 to the 19. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half. Third and 8. And Stroud now to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free. And it brings up 4th down.
And I think they'd be well served to take that type of a physical approach against him the rest of the game. He's had his way so far. But on that last one, that worked quite well for the defense.
For the field goal, a 36-yard attempt.
The kick by Fairbairn is good. And that lead is back down to 9 now. So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
Fairbairn now, following the made field goal, he'll send this one away. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25.
And the Colts about to go on offense one final time in this first half. And with a 2-score lead already, they may just look to get this thing to the locker room.
And just 25 seconds to go in the half now as they've got it 1st and 10.
Now Richardson back to throw it. This one completes Alec Pierce.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. Indianapolis moving the chains there on a gain of 12.
First down, Indianapolis.
First and 10, Taylor now.
And he's going to be taken down here as that will lead us to the end of the first half of play. So we come to halftime here with the visiting Colts taking the lead to the locker room. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
This has certainly been a fun one to watch so far. We knew this was going to be a battle, and we have not been disappointed. This is the kind of game that could wind up hinging on which side can play mistake-free football the rest of the way. We saw former rushing champ Jonathan Taylor be a big-time factor in that first half. He had a touchdown run that helped get his guys this halftime lead.
All right, Coach, thanks very much. Fine work as always as we welcome you back for quarter number 3.
Second half ready to get underway. The Colts with a lead, and they will receive the football. Taken at the goal line. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. Out come the Colts. They'll have it first here to start quarter number 3. And they've got the lead. CD, what do you think the message was at halftime?
I don't think the message was too drastic, I think, at the half, or that they need to change things too much. I do think the offensive line can play a little bit better. I think they'll try and help them out more. They'll probably keep a tight end in a few more times and maybe add a running back to the formation and pick up those pass rushers, because they probably allowed a few too many sacks for comfort in the first half.
Richardson's throw into the hands of Pittman here. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. Just his second catch of the game so far. This one moves the chains.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
Meanwhile, Richardson's throw caught by Pierce. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. That one goes for 24 yards.
Well, that was a fun one to watch right there. A nice in-breaking route and plenty of room in the middle of the field. And he was able to get behind the linebackers and grab the completion for a really good pickup.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Richardson. A short throw. This is caught by Cox. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Good work after the catch. Going to net them 23 and a first.
My goodness, they've come out locked in on this drive. Play calling, execution, they are fully in sync. 3 straight passes, 3 first downs. They're moving the ball downfield almost at will. This defense really struggling to find answers.
Running straight ahead, Taylor. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards.
Some big plays in the passing game on this drive, and here's one out of the running game. So the passing game loosening things up. Now there's room to roam.
They'll run here with Taylor. And he's going to ball his way down to about the 1-yard line. 57 yards rushing for him now to this point.
That's a great run right there on first down. Didn't quite get into the end zone, but now you've set yourself up for at least 2, maybe 3 more shots from close range.
Second and goal from the 1. Now Richardson is going to keep it running right. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Anthony Richardson keeping it himself from a yard out. And the Colts take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical. That's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the third quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
Sanchez now, he'll kick it away following the touchdown. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Here's the Texans offense now, readying for their first possession of the second half. Well, the opposition laid down the challenge and opening drive touchdown here to start the second half. And, Charles, now you feel like this group needs to get an answer because this all of a sudden is a 2-score game.
Yeah, you're right about that. What was a small, manageable spread to overcome a little bit more daunting now. I think you're exactly right. Pressure is on because you don't want them getting the ball back with a chance to really extend this lead out.
And he'll get this up just shy of the 30.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. On 2nd down, here's Pierce. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up.
I know they'd love to take some heat off of that young quarterback, but so far, not much in the running game, and this won't help things either. A loss on that play.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Stroud on 3rd down now. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. A huge play there for Houston. 47 yards.
That's just called as we just saw it right there. A breakdown defensively. Seems like no one went with the tight end, and no one really did. Had all sorts of space in the middle of the field. Yeah, everyone else was covered, but he was not. Big play results.
So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Throwing now is Stroud. Over the middle, that's caught by Mechie. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and that'll bring up 2nd down. Hand off right side to Pierce. And there just continues to be nowhere to run. He's bottled up again at the line of scrimmage. All right, so they got that one, Charles, against the center.
And let's remember how difficult it is for the center, because remember, he's got to snap the ball to put the play in motion, and sometimes you got that big guy on your nose. You got sometimes where he's coming at you at an angle. It's a difficult job for him to snap the ball and then execute his block.
So the completion good for 6 yards. And just like that, it's 3rd down.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. A shotgun snap to Stroud. Now throw on the run, but that's going to be incomplete. The Colts D sticking to their assignments, and that brings up 4th.
Smart move to throw that one away. You're in field goal range, so you definitely don't want to be loose with the ball. And that's great work by this defense to force a 4th down.
So on 4th down, Texan kicker Kaimi Fairbairn comes on. This a 40-yard attempt from the left hash. The kick by Fairbairn is good, and they're hanging around here as the lead's down to 12. So yet another field goal to end a drive. That has been a very common theme. He's now hit 5 of them in this game.
Yeah, Brandon, as an offense, you hate that you've had to call on your kicker so often, but you have to love the fact that time and time again, he's come through.
Fairbairn now following the made field goal. He'll send this one away. McKenzie will not return this, and it'll be brought out to the 25. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out. Looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways, because you know they're both motivated, they both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
A running play there, going to get 10 and a quick 1st down. Interior of that line blocked really well on that run, but also the 2 tight ends, they blocked well too.
Not only have they scouted the line of scrimmage, with their agility, they can get upfield and hit moving targets like linebackers, defensive backs. They do a really good job helping out the running game.
Off play action. Richardson. He'll get this one complete there to Pittman. Now he's loose down the left sideline. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Michael Pittman, 65 yards. And the Colts are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Extra point by Gay is up and good. And that will make this a 19-point game.
Sanchez now, he'll kick it away following the touchdown. This taken in at the goal line. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21. Houston's offense take it over again. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
On first down, here's Stroud. He gets this one to Mechie. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35.
This drive starting off on the right foot, 18 yards.
Well, we talk all the time about playing situational football, and right now I think the scoreboard is dictating what they need to do. Where they are in this game, they've got to push the ball downfield, take their shots, try and get big chunks of yardage in a short amount of time. That was a nice play there.
On first down, nothing opening up really on the running play. Give him maybe a yard, and it'll be second down.
Another modest gain there on that one, and I think, Charles, you can probably pin part of the deficit on a failure on their part to really get this ground game established.
Yeah, and they've really struggled to be multidimensional in this one, haven't they, partner? Because they have to be extremely one-dimensional now if they hope to get back into this game. They'll have to do it by throwing the football and hope to have success through the air.
So the completion good for 7 there. And now that sets up 3rd and 2.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Stroud sets up the play action.
And that is incomplete.
Looks like another empty possession offensively. And you're at that point in the game where you can't afford too many more of these. So this is going to require some heavy thinking on the sideline to figure out what they can do to crack this defense.
Here's Cameron Johnston now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And that is very well done there, as this will be marked out of bounds at the 5-yard line.
Colts football and Michael Pittman, helmet back on and ready to go.
Pretty good game for him so far. I guess he's still got time here to make this a great game, but so far he's been solid.
I like where you're going with that because it has been pretty good, but there's always that hint that things can really escalate for him. And right now, they feel like they're somewhat keeping him in check, but he has found the end zone once. But, boy, he can explode at any moment.
Yeah, and when you hit that end zone once, you want to find it again, don't you?
Yes, you do.
Makes you hungrier.
You get greedy in a good way.
And able to get it across the 10 to the 15. Trying to escape the shadow of their goalpost. That helped. 10 yards, first down.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the 3rd quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Denzel Perryman there to bring him down.
This defense could use a few more plays like that right now.
It certainly could, but think about it from an offense's perspective right now. They've got a lead, but they don't want to throttle down too much and stall themselves. Still want to move at a nice pace.
Here's Richardson to throw. Isaiah McKenzie hauling it in. And from the 15, they're able to work this up to the 20 for a pickup of a handful.
A 5-yard pickup on the play. And it's 3rd down.
Here is 3rd and 5. Now it's Richardson. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down.
Well, if nothing else, they were able to pick up 1 first down on this drive and get it away from their own goal line. But not much happening after that, and it leads to a punting situation.
Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. Fielded just inside the 30. A 48-yard punt, 7 on the return. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. Over on the sideline, hoping to hit that reset button between possessions. Last time out, they had to punt it away. This time, hoping to finish this thing off in the end zone. Good starting field position for the Houston Texans here as they come up 1st and 10 at their 36-yard line. On the ground, it's Pierce to begin the drive. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. 40 yards rushing on 12 carries for him now.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Back now in Houston, it's Texans football, but they trail here as we get started in the 4th quarter. Now they'll throw it with Stroud here, 1st and 10. A short one going to be taken in here by Schultz. 2 yards on the pickup there, and that's going to bring up 2nd down.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but now any run after it.
This is 2nd and 8. Stroud now on 2nd down. He's got his man. It's Pierce. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. Well, hang on now. We're going to pause here. We've got an injured player. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Stroud. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up 2nd and 10. Here's Stroud. The Colts are going to get him. Down he goes. The DeForest Buckner using those big hands and getting in there and bringing him down for this sack.
The drive had started well after a punt last time. Now it's slowed down a bit. And let's face it, they don't want to punt the ball in back-to-back series. They want a sustained drive on this one.
And this offense on third down today, they're hitting at just 30%, 3 for 10. This will be third and forever. Stroud here on third and long. And it's going to be incomplete. He was able to catch it there on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. And it's going to bring up fourth down.
Even with such a big lead late, the effort hasn't lapsed one bit. If the offense wants to score some points in this one, they're going to have to earn it. These guys are not giving up anything.
59-yard attempt.
Fairbairn able to put this one through, and that'll get the deficit back to 16. Well, with that field goal, you can argue they needed to get back within 2 scores, and they did indeed do that, but still a pretty uphill battle.
Still going to take 2 fourth-quarter touchdowns to get back into it. And as you and I know, that's a tall order against any NFL defense. They're going to need their own defense to make some plays as well to give them an opportunity.
Fairbairn now following the made field goal. He'll send this one away. McKenzie will not return this, and it'll be brought out to the 25. Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this fourth quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
A carry by Taylor to start the drive. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Vision is so important for the man in the middle because his ability to look through all the clutter that's happening in front of him, diagnose a play, and then go make it and finish it, that's when the great ones know that they have the goods.
Second down, another run with Taylor. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. 76 yards on the ground for him so far.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. Call it no gain on the keeper, and it's going to bring up a fourth down.
They tried their best to pick up that 3rd and 1, but their surge wasn't enough to counteract what came back at them from the defensive side, was it?
Offensive line, especially in the middle, looked like they were on skates a little bit when that one started.
So now we bring up 4th and inches. This would be a critical call.
Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as he's on to punt for Indianapolis. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. And he fields it cleanly. Call that a 46-yard punt, though they did get 9 back on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. And the football going back over now to the Houston Texans. Their defense was able to force the punt. That's the good news. But this is still a 2-score game, and they need points on this drive and in a relatively quick manner.
Ready, set.
First and 10, it's Pierce. Takes it to the 26, just a 1-yard gain.
Defenses always talk about earning the right to rush the passer on 3rd down. And you know what offenses want? Win first down so they can set things up for themselves better.
And that wasn't helpful there. Not a big impact on first down. Now 2nd and 9. Back to throw. Here's Stroud. And he'll be brought down by the Colts. DeForest Buckner able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon. Well, they were trying to set up a screen there, but that one just too slow in developing.
Yeah, too slow in developing and well read, because that ends up being a bad feeling for the quarterback. When he's got no blocking in front of him, his guys are just going to let defenders go, and they're coming for him. So if it's not there, you just got to throw the ball at the turf at your running back's feet.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. How about that? They weather the storm of a 3rd and 17 to pick up the first.
All right, this is the time of the game where they're down a couple of scores, and they've really got to get some yards in chunks, and they know the defense doesn't want to give those up, but they've got to find a way to take them anyway.
Now the question is, can they string a few of those together? Stroud to the air on 1st and 10. And he'll get this underneath to Singletary. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And they'll be left with a 2nd and about a foot. 4th quarter, every drive's so critical, and you figure they only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the 2nd touchdown. You got the first one for the 2nd one to even matter.
It'll be a pickup of 4, good enough to earn him yet another first down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Now from Colts territory, here's a 1st and 10 at the 47. Stroud looking to throw. And that one into the hands of Brown downfield. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
Good yardage on the completion there. When they look at the scoreboard, they do understand a field goal is not going to do them any good. My guess, they're going to press the ball downfield as far as possible, try and throw it into the end zone and get a score because they know they've got to get that done and get the ball back as quickly as possible.
First and 10, it's Stroud. The throw here right sideline falls incomplete.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he led him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Now a handoff for Pierce. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
And they're going to hurry back to the line now. From the gun on 3rd down, here's Stroud. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he'll be touched down here, but not before he does pick up the first. A good pickup there, a 22. And a 2-score game, obviously. Every play, every 3rd down, like we saw there, magnified. Big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to 3rd down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete. Down this close to the goal line, 1st down. Surprised that wasn't a run?
I am, and you know I'm old school. I want to run the ball on 1st down in this situation because 2nd down, that gives me that option of running play action and maybe throwing it.
Here's Pierce. Oh, he's going absolutely nowhere as he is hit behind the line. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming.
I thought they were onto something with their play call and kind of went in reverse a little bit. Threw it on 1st down, then ran it on 2nd down. Not successful either way. What play call do they come up with here on this important 3rd down try?
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete. So now 4th and goal. You're trailing by a decent amount here. What are you doing, Coach Davis?
Well, I've got to think to myself, just how many more opportunities am I going to have this close and have this chance? I've got to go for it right here. The clock's dwindling on me. Let's go get it done.
4th down, 4th quarter. Here's Stroud. Did he get the feed down? Yes. Touchdown. Jordan, a 5-yard touchdown. And the Texans are finally into the end zone here in this 4th quarter. So this back now to a 10-point spread, and you have to imagine they'll line up and go for 2.
Oh, no question about it. If they can get this to an 8-point game, they can make things awfully interesting here in these last few minutes.
Oh, what a heck of an effort there as he'll make the diving catch. And that almost makes it a brand-new ballgame. Now it's a one-score affair after they get the 2.
And you have to know they were holding their breath on the 2-point play because they had to have it to get it within the range that you just talked about. Dialed up their 2-point play. It worked. Now they're feeling like they've got a shot at this one.
So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. McKenzie now from his end zone. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. And the Colts getting ready to go. And with that last touchdown, I mean, we're set up for a good finish here. Some things to consider, Charles. Obviously, it's a very close game. You're in the fourth quarter. Defensively, they've got all 3 timeouts in their back pocket.
So the chess match really ramps up, doesn't it? Because in these situations, what do? Do you run the ball and kill the clock here? Or do you try and bury them with another score? And how about defensively? Do you use your timeouts at earliest opportunity? Or wait till you hit the 2-minute warning? So there's a lot going into this one. Let's see how each side goes about their strategy.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. You know, I was going to ask you if maybe they should surprise and pass the ball, but where they're at on the field, I think keep it on the ground, right?
I like where you're going with this one because field position is going to determine these play calls. And backed up where they are, I don't even think about putting the ball in the air. I tell my running backs, grasp the football, and I tell my offensive line, don't allow any leaks so they get hit immediately when we hand it off.
Another run on second down, trying to cover up. Now the Texans have burned the first of their timeouts. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. This is a big third down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. Now here's a fake on the jet sweep, and instead a give to Taylor. And quickly we're going to get another stop here with 1:54 left as they call the timeout defensively. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. The call for a fair catch, and it's made at about the 23-yard line. So Stroud and the Texans down by 8, a little under 1:50 remaining. They need a touchdown and, of course, the 2-point conversion as well. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
Not a bad game there, and it's okay to still run the football in this situation, but you got to be careful to not take too much time off the clock.
They come up now on 2nd and 2. Now Stroud. Finding Schultz. This is where you learn a lot about rookie quarterbacks. How can they run that 2-minute drill? We're about to find out.
Yeah, and for them, it's not just proving it to guys like you and me watching the game and trying to beat a defense. It's proving it to to their teammates that they can have the confidence in them when they line up in these situations.
Just the one timeout remaining as they try to navigate this 2-minute drill. 1st and 10. Meanwhile, Stroud's throw pulled in by Woods. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35.
But one of the ways the quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
Here's Stroud. And that went too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete.
Whew, that's certainly not the worst thing. It stops the clock and lets your offense catch its breath and lets us exhale a little bit. Now I expect them to call a couple plays in the huddle so they're ready if a tackle happens inbounds.
Clock at 30 seconds. 2nd and 10. Stroud. And that is incomplete. These are the spots, this stage of the game, where it pays to have speed on the perimeter, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and in the second quarter, he may very well have run by him, but in this situation, I know as a defender, I'm loosening up a couple of extra steps that allowed him to run with him stride for stride.
And now a tough spot here. This is 3rd and 10. Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
Partner, they've got one chance left to keep this one going, and I think for you and me, let's think along with their offensive coordinator now. Has to think back, cycle through every play of this contest, and remember what's worked and what hasn't. Because right here, he needs the best play of the game in order to keep this one alive.
Stroud now on 4th down.
And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Colts are going to take over with a football. The Colts in victory formation now as they take the knee. The Texans going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as he'll stop it with 13 seconds left to play.
Down to a knee goes Richardson, and that should finish off this victory. Well, partner, you and I were excited for this one today, and it certainly had its moments. Some good execution at times by both of these offenses. Defenses both made some plays as well, and always a joy to be up here in the booth next to you, my friend.
Yeah, it's a privilege to be up here in the booth next to you as well. Thanks for taking the time, and let's go ahead and get ready for our next one, right? I'll see you in the film room. Get that preparation started now.